Welcome to the blockchain experience. Bringing dope content to the audience. Welcome to the blockchain experience. Bringing dope content to the audience. It's the blockchain spell made of David's got so.
Hello, GM, and welcome to an introductory episode of the blockchain experience. I'm your host, MetaDavid. So if you're expecting the Dead NFT Artist Society and you think you got the wrong podcast, no, it's the right podcast. We just rebranded it. So the podcast is about a year old now, and when we first started it, it was with the intent of focusing on emerging one-of-one artists. Last year, we experimented and pushed the boundaries a bit and talked to people doing interesting things in the space. We talked to Danny Yang, the founder of On-Chain Monkeys. We talked to Sabet, the legendary and well-established artist. We talked to Paul Jenkins, the comic writer from Marvel. And we had a lot of success with that. It was a breakthrough season for us. And so that's what our audience wants, and I'm here to bring value to you guys. So the show's rebranded to the blockchain experience because we just want to talk to, various thought leaders in the space, whether it's artists, entrepreneurs, project founders, collectors, what have you. We're going to talk to all those folks this season. We've already started booking guests for next season, and we've actually already recorded an episode. So I hope you guys enjoy the upcoming season because I know I've been really looking forward to this for a long time. Now, there is one thing for those of you that are new that makes this podcast unique, and that is since last season, we've made each episode of the podcast available to mint as a free NFT. It's not intended to be a money grab. It is free. In fact, it's exactly the opposite of a money grab. It's to just help bring more value to you as a listener. So why would you want to do this? I would say it's three reasons. One is because at the end of each episode, I recognize each minter by name. So I think it's a cool way to just it's just cool to hear your name being said on a podcast, right? That has a decent following. Second is because it gives me as a podcaster better line of sight into who our loyal listeners are. If you do choose to mint, and I'm trying to work on getting those mint rates up. But if you do mint, I can drop that occasional reward to you because I know who you are. And lastly, just like any other NFT, it's a collectible like anything else. I'm looking at things that have in a very long time horizon, 20, 30 years from now. So looking at it through that lens, these will be in your wallet as like vintage media, and hopefully that's going to be valuable on its own merit. So this season, the mint is almost free. I say almost because last year we used Manifold and it was free, but you had to pay gas, right? And gas got pretty high because of all those meme coins a couple months back. We're in June right now. This season we're using Nifty Gateway, so it'll cost $1 to mint, and that $1 is only because Nifty Gateway makes me charge something, and that's like the bare minimum they force me to charge, so that's what I'm charging. But that $1 does include gas, and it is on Ethereum, so it's $1 well worth spent. One major quirk about this minting process, which I just learned recently, is that the minting window is going to be available for 4 days only because that's the maximum that Nifty Gateway allows for an open edition. So nonetheless, even with those couple of, if you want to call them barriers or obstacles, I think that this mint process should be an improvement over last season, but we'll see as we go through the process. So anyways, that's a rundown of the show. You probably want to know a little bit about me, of course. So for those of you that don't know me and are just discovering me through Nifty Gateway, or you're looking through the audio dial on your podcast player, my name's David, as you probably can tell. I live in the United States. I guess you could call me a bit of a corporate square. I got my undergrad degree in economics. I'm an MBA, and I'm working on my towards my doctorate. My professional background includes working for some major companies that you've definitely heard of. I have experience in product, business development, sales, so I can wear multiple hats. I can't say that I particularly prefer one over the other. I enjoy all those things, so that's why I did them professionally. But what, out of all those, like, when it comes to my professional background, what actually has given me the most gratitude is being a people manager and just supporting the growth and development of my direct reports. So that's what gets me excited. And frankly, that's what has motivated me to start a podcast in Web3. I just want to bring value to you guys, whether it's in the form of knowledge, talking about thought-provoking topics, or just, having you hear from various thought leaders in this space. So I'm thrilled to have you on the journey. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate your time and support. Looking forward to having the blockchain experience. So we're going to move on to our next segment, the shout outs from the last episode, and then we'll close things off. And now it's time for the shout outs. So first, I want to thank my last guest, Travi, for hopping on the podcast and helping to send us off on season 1 and usher in a new era of the podcast. We actually had to record that podcast twice because of technical issue on my end with the first recording. So I really do appreciate his flexibility and willingness to come on. I'm also thankful for the support that the journey has been providing me as a creator and helping amplifying us. So Travi, thank you for everything that you do for all of us in Web3, and thank you for minting. Next up is DVD Dan. I'm sorry, did I say that? It's DV Dan. I said DVD Dan. I thought I broke myself out of the habit. DV Dan. So DV Dan, who is a full set holder for season 1, I appreciate you so much for minting and your support throughout the season. And I'm actually excited that, although I won't be coming for 4th of July weekend, I'm going to come at a later point and we might end up being able to meet up in person after all. So I'll keep you posted on that. Next, we've got Andre Decolife, the amazing Brazilian artist based in London, a full season 1 holder, a good friend. Check out his art at Decolife1 on Twitter. Andre, thank you so much for minting, brother. Next up is Sergey33 Bus, who is a new entrant to the pod. I really appreciate you minting and hope you will continue the experience with us into season 2. So good to see a new face. Thank you for minting. Next, we have Dominic, who also seems like a new entrant to the pod. Welcome. I love your Killer Bear PFP. I hope to see you again in season 2. Thank you for minting. Let's see. Next, we've got Emil MTO, Swedish artist who's got an amazing Cubist style. I always say this. Definitely check him out at Emil MTO on Twitter. Appreciate your support all season, brother. Thank you for being a full set holder, and thank you for minting. Next up is Serga. Serga, I love your energy. I love seeing your name on my Twitter feed. You've got this incredible infectious energy, and I love the images that you always have of a goat of yourself in the morning. I think those are AI generated, or maybe you've got strong artistic skills and a lot of time, but I kid. But goat, thank you so much for minting. Again, hopefully we'll be seeing you throughout the podcast. So rise, my friend. And again, thanks for minting. Next up is Gregarious, an awesome Utes PFP, the CEO of Zealous, which leverages AI to deliver and optimize content coming from creators. I see your Nounish, and I feel like we have crossed paths before because your name looks familiar, and so does your PFP. Anyways, thrilled to see that you're on board. Hope you continue your journey with us into the experience. And next, we've got SJS Inc., a full season holder, who's been with me since episode 1. I know he's been really busy lately, but I just really appreciate you making the time to show up for me. So SJS Inc., thank you so much for being a good friend, and thank you for minting. And next we have Inceptually, a guest in the last season that we just wrapped up, season 1, and one that was really well received. Very smart and savvy dude. I'm so grateful for your friendship, and thanks for being a full season holder. And of course, thank you for minting. Let's see, a couple more left. Now we have Erky, a new minter. Welcome to the pod. Appreciate you minting. Hope to see you again. And last but not least, we've got The Rev, a past guest on the pod, and the guy who, whenever I talk to him, I end up scooping up a lot of art blocks. Rev, appreciate you minting and being a full season holder. And those are our minters for the season. So I know I did that pretty quickly this go around. We will have a new minting process. It's on Nifty Gateway. I know I've said that many times. I guess I just like being redundant. So I'll put the link for it on my Twitter. It should cost only $1 to mint, but that $1 is like an all-in price. It's on Ethereum. You can pay with a credit card. You can pay with ETH. Personally, I just always use a credit card on Nifty Gateway, just so much easier. And we'll see how the process goes for next season. So thank you so much for listening. Appreciate you all. And I just also want to reiterate that the reason that you do want to mint, as you saw, we just do shout outs and acknowledge the minters, which I always think is pretty cool. It's a good way for me to track and reward loyal listeners. And lastly, it just gives you guys something valuable, potentially valuable, that will be surely vintage media in the future, something that you can hold long term for posterity reasons. So again, thanks all for listening. Thank you all for all the successes that we had in season 1. Next episode will be the official one, first of the season 2. Hope to see you there as part of the blockchain experience.